through pH and pen. You know what I'm saying? The formula of how to keep that ball rolling. You know what I mean? So here we are. Well, we
How do
got
you
five
start a
years in
battle
prison,
rap
six
league?
years.
You started a battle rap. How do you start one? That's like a huge. Like, it's so cool.
So right, you have to die first, right? So then you become the sacrifice for the Illuminati, right? And then what happens
Facts.
is you
You
make
have
the
to
left in
die
Albuquerque,
first.
right?
First
So
step
you have to
one.
die first.
Die
That's step
first.
one, right? You have to die. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But uh,
That's an interesting way to
you just
put it,
have
though.
to if you know the, and I'm gonna say this, I don't care what nobody says, there is a science in what we do. There is a feeling, there is an energy in what we do when you know you're gonna do an event or when you know what you want to do, right? And you follow that energy, for me at least. Um, but when you know, when you've learned and you're like, okay, you've been around it long enough, like, okay, I got to call the venue. And in calling the venue, I got to make sure I have the money. But before I call the venue, I got to make sure I have the money first, just in case I could get that venue in that moment. All right, next thing I have to call when we're creating the card, I have to make sure the guys are locked in and they're not telling the whole world, which is another whole other interview. Um,
Ah,
so when you start getting to know that, it starts become muscle memory.
okay.
So then when you start doing it for yourself, it's like, okay, we got this, we got that, we got. You'll start learning. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's people that lost money doing events. When you're good to people, you're not spending a lot of money to do your event. You're using that money for the next event or the people you want to pay on your staff, right? If you're smart, right? You know how financially makes that work. Now we're not talking about the king of the dots and the URLs. We're talking about people like us, like the prison battle leagues, we go hards, and people like that.
Hold
You're
on. You gotta
hardworking.
got okay. So I sort of know what you mean by that, because I know what a rap grid is. And I clicked on the rap grid and I clicked on the
Shout
battle.
out to Direct.
Right. And I clicked on the battle rap leagues, and then there's just this list. And I'm like, okay, but then you don't. It's just a lot of names, right? But then you don't see it all on YouTube like that, and it just isn't very clear. And then all these people play on all the big leagues, and it's like, this is this is not clear. I think because that's a problem with battle rap, is the entry point is so high. Like you have to be like
Yeah.
so down
Well, it's
to go
saturated
like,
now. It's saturated.
but that just makes it harder because there's a big myth that
Right.
people like choice. People don't like choice. People like streamlined experiences that make them not feel kind of ignorant. So you come into battle rap.
Ooh.
So you come into battle rap and it's like a million leagues, a million styles, a million things, and there's not even a directory outside of like anything clean that is like, okay, let me like, you know how like on YouTube there's those little animated 6-minute videos that break shit down for you on every topic so that you can get to the hard videos? That
Right,
don't
right, right.
exist for battle rap. So you come into this and you're like, and then everyone like, okay, so I'm in Canada. I've seen some of the King of the Dot stuff, and they just point at people in the crowd and shit, and I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? You know? And I'm not like saying it
Right.
from like, I'm just saying, who are you talking about? I don't. So then, if you go and delve into it, okay, yes, it's rewarding, it's worth it. I encourage everyone out there to do it. But gosh, I
Right.
wish there was like a little tutorial like at the beginning of a video game, and that would just break it all down one time. You can.
It's funny. I've always thought about doing that, but because battle rap is it has this like everything hip hop, battle rap, the music industry. There's always pros and cons, right? So with battle rap, it's like people just like it to be done, it like it right there fast, and it has to be connected to something juicy like a tea. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, but I've always, for me, if I was a millionaire, because there's so many people that love battle rap, that support battle rap, that are A-listers. They come, they may help with an event here, or do something there or whatever. But eventually I like to see, for me, I can't speak for everybody else, because to do something like this will require everybody to want to be involved at once. And for me, I feel like battle rap deserves its own cable network channel, because it's so much history from the 80s till now. There's so much footage.
Ooh.
And when I see people like Nick Cannon using people and wilding out, and he owns a whole network, and I'm looking at like the caffeine, latching on to the network and I see everybody, I'm just like, yo, one nation, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this bag, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it could be a channel that has a hierarchy of everyone within battle rap that set the blueprint, that understand how to work with corporate structure, that and it has to be
Are
with a
you talking
corporate
Ho-Ho's
structure.
language?
Yo,
You
this
know what
is
I'm
like
saying?
sick. I'm like
It has
picturing
to be
this.
a corporate this has to be a corporate structure that understands how to work with this structure and vice versa.
Oh my gosh,
Not
that sounds like
dictatorship,
fucking fun. Anyway, that sounds like a fun
right?
project.
Right. So whereas we would have to understand, right, the corporate structures trying to polish us up and be good for TV, we have to help them understand, like, listen, times have changed. You're gonna have to progress a little bit. HBO got some shit, Showtime got some shit, everybody got some shit, and now you could curse on TV. Cut it out, man. Let's go with the curses. Let's go. You don't worry.
Mm.
Stop, stop, stop. They said dick. I was just watching fucking Sons of Anarchy. Come on. I just saw his dick. No, we're going to FX. You know what I mean? Like, knowing how to be like, listen, stop being afraid of it.
Yo, there's so much
It can
potential
get
what you just said. I'm like, yo,
right.
my imagination's running. Um, but like, nah, you don't even need the big people anymore. That's what's interesting. Like, you can just
Yeah.
yo, like, because the whole world's going to a subscription model, right? Which is why it's a nifty idea. But like, I feel like people put so much effort into ecosystem before they have to, when they can just leverage
Right.
existing ecosystem, get that foundation to pay for the next level. Like, yo, running an app and shit, like doing all this website stuff. Like, I work for a software company. Y'all gonna need to hire people. Yo, securities and shit, data, compliance, legals. Like, I don't know if you know how many departments there are in a software company, which is where you become at that point. So I'm like, I like being a content company where it's like all I gotta know about is copyright law. Like, that's it. Copyright law. That's the one laws I gotta follow. Everything else is
Yeah.
simple as fuck. Where can I
Right.
monetize which avenues best? Simple, easy
Right.
breezy. But like,
Right.
y'all like can just organize, like I could talk to like you and Lush on a direct. If y'all like as bosses of this era got together and created a Twitch channel or something like that. I say Twitch because Amazon owns Twitch.
Well, Lush and them are with a league called King of the Dot. Shout out to them. They're on Twitch. And then you
Right.
have Smack URL that's on the
I meant
caffeine.
it more
Caffeine app.
like a different IP, not like a battle rap league, more like a battle rap historian
Oh,
endeavor where y'all like do this more just documentary style. Cause like I could do what I
I
want here,
agree.
but like y'all could do it like in a new way.
I agree. I agree. But it would have to things are moving so fast with battle rap and things get so like it's hard to get everybody when
Mm,
you want on the same page, right?
okay.
It doesn't mean they don't want to be. It just means it has to work. Whereas, okay, so Lush One, perfect example. You're not going to approach Lush One with something stupid. You're talking about someone that was depicted into a film called Body. They created a whole character around Lush. He acted Lush to the core, right? We could have got Lush right, but this is now when we have that example of corporate structure versus what battle rap is. Perfect example. Lush could have did it, right? He could have played himself, normal, but they had an actor do it, right? It's a concept of this is ours, right? And in order for us to be able to progress to certain levels or everyone gets something out of it because the way it's working, it's like, okay, yes, they're getting something out of it. They're getting something out of it. But it's still the battle rap culture. It's still a culture. And it's not just one individual level of league. Yes, we have our own TMZs. Bloggers are like the how they say the paparazzi sometimes. You know what I mean? They're like the paparazzi. Not all bloggers. I don't want to make sure, but bloggers are like paparazzis. Then you have the leagues are like I guess you would consider either the program or the TV show. And then you have, the stars, which are the battlers. And then you have the platforms that are like the show, so to say. King of the Dot is the show you watch when you want to see somebody like Pat Stay or you know what I'm saying, or you want to see the Grand Prix, or you're going over to caffeine. because you want to see, Ultimate Madness 3. You want to see Summer Madness. You want to see, Crucible or something like that. Or you'll go over to iBattle because you may want to see somebody like Danish or somebody like that. So it's like everybody has a streaming service, or they're just still on YouTube, or they're just keep doing events, right? In order for everybody to be able to, like, if it was a channel, going back to that idea, and it was programs geared towards certain things, it would be amazing. You know what I mean? But it would have to, like I said, it would require everyone to kind of humble up a little bit, kind of see what we can all gain out of something. It's not a
Yeah.
kumbaya.
I,
It's let's take this friendly competition and get this bag.
yeah, I think you just described the every city problem in hip hop in like really eloquent terms. And I say that
Thank
every
you.
city because you see that meme that went around where it was like everyone's city with a staircase, and then there was ATL with everyone handing a bag up. But I saw like 7 different versions of that, different cities swapping out. But really, it's like everyone's so focused on their own thing that it's hard to manage that bigger picture. But the way you broke it down as TV show productions, it really like resonated. I used hockey teams and NHL to compare it in my own version of it, but like it's really apt. It's like there's this whole like universe that has to cohesively kind of, it's almost like people have to agree on the narrative. And until you can agree on the narrative and make it kind of cohesive, the people that are not currently invested in what you do are never going to even start to develop the interest because it doesn't look like you have your shit together, even if everyone's
Right.
got their shit together. If the top level narrative doesn't have cohesion, it creates cognitive dissonance.
Yes. Yes. So, we still got a ways to go, but as soon as, and I'm gonna say this, it's an unpopular opinion, but battle rap has to be, I would say, community wise. I'm not saying everybody. If it don't apply, let it fly. But stop being easily manipulated to believe everybody has that good intention, especially if they're coming from an A-list. Not saying that A-list people have bad intentions, good intentions. I'm just saying we created something. It's amazing. The world is watching, and they're gonna come to you because they can get something out of it. So let's get
Mm.
something out of it then. If they want us to work, we got to make it work for us.